Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Now, we are all gearing up for Champions League week, aren't we? But I think it's safe to say, whilst most teams and their fans are looking forward to the occasion, when it comes to Chelsea Football Club and Chelsea's fans, we're not really looking forward to this, are we? Except we're just anticipating absolute bloodshed that might occur on the day. Now, we're going to get into the latest and what has been happening and whatnot, but I've got one thing that I have to say, right, that I think is quite important. Before we do, I want to let you know, don't forget, check out the socials. Links are in the description. Twitter and Instagram are there, as well as my second channel where a brand new video will be dropping there tomorrow. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled on there and subscribe, as well as the Rumble link that's over there too. So make sure you are following on Rumble if you're not already. So let's get cracking. We are waiting for Real Madrid versus Chelsea at the Bernabeu against Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid and the Ramadan Benzema, right? And I say that because if you look at when Benzema is fasting, he turns into a monster on the pitch. For those that actually that don't know, right? There will be some of you that know. But don't automatically think that when a player's fasting that their energy levels are going to plummet. That's not the case. In fact, you actually perform better. I can testify for that because I've tried and tested it, and it's true. You feel lighter, you feel more agile, you feel more concentrated, you feel more focused. The problem is after the game. The problem's after the game. If you've still got a few hours before you can eat or drink, right, and you're waiting after the game after having done all of that and you're thirsty, that's when it starts to like, oh man, I'm so thirsty, right? But during the game, trust me, peak performance. So Benzema, prime example, because he bags goals for fun. When he's fasting, he done it last year and he's doing it now. You saw his performance against Barcelona, prime example. Leading up into this game, he is on form. I hope the same can be said for N'Golo Kante. Right, I hope. Because Kante, I'm hoping, is at full fitness and he's ready to go. Now, I want to say, we're looking forward to this game against Real Madrid. A load of us are expecting a battering. Right? I'm expecting Chelsea to get battered. Now, I have to say that there is a part of me that on a normal other day, right, would look at this fixture and go, no, you know what? It's a different level. It's a different competition. It's a different breed. Losing 1-0 to Wolves in the Premier League is one thing. Playing against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in the Champions League is going to be another, right? The atmosphere is different. The players know what it means. Like, it's just a complete other stratosphere, right? So bearing that in mind, I would normally like to think that there would be an inkling of Chelsea actually showing up for that day and that occasion and actually getting a result. You can sometimes play so badly, right, that you actually baffle your opponent. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that, yeah, losing 1-0 against Wolves, there is a chance that you play so unorthodox and you play so lopsided that you can put an opponent like Real Madrid off, where they don't really know what to expect or how to approach it, and it kind of, stifles them. That can happen, and it has happened before, but I can't help but think that just the way that Chelsea are playing right now isn't got anything to do with that. It's just we're just not going to show up. and Real Madrid are going to kill us. So, look, we'll wait and see what happens. I'll give you the match preview for that tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that as we get ready for the anticipation of playing Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Now, let's jump into the latest. What is it that's going on at Chelsea right now? And, what's happening? So, let's start off with what Fabrizio Romano has to say in regards to Joao Felix. Here it is. Understand, Chelsea want to keep Joao Felix as part of long-term project. Club very happy with his impact. Joao also keen on staying at CFC. The deal will depend on tag asked by Atletico. Talks will take place soon. New coach also a factor. This is where I think we have to draw a line, right? I'm all for club signings where I feel like players can be very versatile to whoever the manager's going to be. However, when you're talking about a player like this or clinging them on to a long-term deal, I think it's only right that you involve whoever the manager's going to be. We don't know who the manager's going to be, right? Now, this is where I just hope that the club has a flipping plan. I really hope, because right now, I have to be honest, I would say, defended the ownership up until this point. I think loads have. I think there's loads of non-Chelsea fans that are trying to bring it home to Chelsea fans' heads that, yo, your club is being run like a zoo. Your owners are just trying and testing, they ain't got a clue. And I'm looking at them going, no. There's a method to the madness. Relax. But I have to say, there is a part of me that's only saying that because I support Chelsea. And I'm trying to protect the club, right? Because I look at the investment that Chelsea have made, and I have to say the investment is something that none of us can complain about. The signings, the transfers and whatnot, they've been top class, right, as far as we're concerned. Even then, non-Chelsea supporters and non-Chelsea analysts are looking and going, yo, no, you guys are just buying the hottest product on the market and then going on to the next one. You know, whatever shiny thing pops up, you just get. And I'm trying to say, nah, it'll come good, don't worry. As time goes on, it seems, right, that their analysis and their perspective is starting to look more and more true as day by day goes on. And I don't want to say that. Because I believe in Enzo Fernandez, for example, is a top player. I believe in Joao Felix is a top player. But it does seem all very scattergun. Now, when you look at the managerial situation and the way we're being run there, you can't help but think that, yeah, maybe we are just firing blanks into the crowd and hoping whatever we get, we get. Maybe. So, when you look at that, and you look at the managerial situation, as much as I think there are managers that you can look to in the summer, right? Which I think right now is what we're going to have to do. But my goodness, I think we need to try and pen someone down now. We have to. Whether that's Luis Enrique who's available now, whether that's Nagelsmann who wants to wait till the summer, whether it's anyone that's at another club right now. The names that have been plucked out. Poch is available. His name's been plucked out. We've even heard Carlo Ancelotti, right? His name's been plucked out. Mourinho's name's been plucked out. Even Conte's name's been plucked out, right? But all these managers that are in a job, right now, even if they're in a job, try and nail them down now and get an agreement done with that manager, so then at least even for their club, they can prepare to get themselves a replacement. But in the meantime, at least now we know who to base the team around. We know what signings to go after that the club will be happy with, but who the new manager will be happy with as well. We can't just get players that the club fancies and then get a manager and then the manager's like, no, I don't like him. You know, I understand it's good to get players that are clearly very versatile to whoever manager is, and I believe Joao Felix is going to be one of those. I believe you can... Look, Joao Felix has played for Diego Simeone. I truly think that if you've played for an ultra defensive and you know, passion-filled manager like Simeone, right, and you've got technical ability, I truly think that you have the package to be able to work under any manager. You can work under an ultra-disciplined manager. You can work under a manager that's all about, you know, your feelings on the pitch and you know, the moment and your technicality, and even whether you play defensive or you play attacking. I truly think there are some players that are very versatile to either. So I think Felix is going to be one of those. So I'm not bothered about him. But it's something that we need to plan for now. We can't wait till the summer, get a deal done, pre-season started. Oh no, now we need to start planning. Like, no, the planning needs to start now. Chelsea right now are a mess in terms of how we are on the pitch. We are a mess. And I understand that players are going to be leaving, right? That's normal. Players are going to be brought in. We're going to get a new manager in. This team's going to change, right? But we need to identify what we need to do now. We need to prepare. So it's only right that we get a manager in. Now, Cesar Azpilicueta had something to say. Very interesting. Check this out. Cesar Azpilicueta on Luis Enrique to Chelsea rumours. There are parts of the club who negotiate that we trust with doing what is best for the club. We will see what happens. My best games with the national team were with Luis Enrique as coach. That's interesting. However, as much as I appreciate that, and to be honest, right now, look, if we are that desperate, Luis Enrique is the best one to go to. Hands down. Why? He's available. He's available. Even if it means that he takes a break to the summer, but let him start working now, even if he's away from the club. Let him start identifying and planning exactly what he's going to do and what he wants from now. Get something done now. Because right now, we need a plan. So, absolutely, it seems like the best route to go down right now in terms of desperation and urgency would be Luis Enrique. So, Cesar Azpilicueta's comments are relevant there. However, Cesar Azpilicueta himself isn't relevant to the plans going forward, let's be honest. He's not going to be here much longer. So yeah, his best games in the national team were under Luis Enrique. But what about the other players? What about the players that are actually going to be playing for Chelsea? You know, what about if there are other Spanish players in the national team that go, no, you know what? No, I didn't like it under Luis Enrique. You know, so his comments, very isolated, I would say. However, I do have to say, in terms of the options for going to start planning right now, yeah, Luis Enrique is probably number one on the list. So we need to try and make a decision ASAP. Now, talking about Azpilicueta, there's a very, very interesting thing that John Obi Mikel had to say, which I thought was spot on. As much as we love Aspi, but you can't help but say that this is the truth. This is the truth. Check this out. John Obi Mikel said, "It's about the money now. It's not about passion. You don't see those things in the dressing room anymore. When I look at this Chelsea team, who do you think is leading that dressing room? There is no one. Even Cesar Azpilicueta, who has been there for a long time, he is such a quiet, lovely guy, but he doesn't look to me like someone who's going to be that. I'm sorry to say, but you need those people." Absolutely spot on. John Obi Mikel. Now, some people are going to say, no, it's Aspi. What do you mean? He's a leader. He's a leader with this group that we have now. But put him in a team with other leaders and he looks like the average sort of go-to guy that's playing for the team. Much like he did when all those leaders were in the team. Let's be honest. When Azpilicueta came in and we had, Lampard was still there and then he had just left. JT, Drogba came back and whatnot. Was anyone talking about Aspi as a leader? No. Under Antonio Conte even. That was where you started to look and go, no, he's turning senior. He's starting to become a senior player. There's a difference between a senior player and a leader. With the team that we have now, he's the only one that you can even sort of resemble characteristics of a leader. But he's not a complete leader. You have to be honest, a leader isn't someone that just yells and puts their arms in the air and goes, "Come on, lads," because anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. Anyone before a game can go, "Come on, lads." Very easy. Very easy. You don't need to be a leader to do that. To be a leader, you need to be able to, on the pitch, dictate, rectify, encourage, see things in advance, steer your teammates in the right direction, pinpoint things that they might have missed, even in the moment of a game that you can realise and go, "Hey, you're missing this and that, go and do this or go there," or look, there's so many different fundamentals and so many different little details that leaders pick up on. JT picked up on it. Even Lampard. Now, Lampard was a quiet guy, but he was a leader. Lampard, even with the armband, you never saw him. He was never the type to go, "Come on, lads, yeah, well, come on." JT was. Didier was, to an extent. Lampard never was. Lampard was always a quiet guy, but he was a leader. He showed you by example on the pitch of how to do things, how to lead, how to dictate. Aspi has elements, but not the full package. But he's the best we got. He's the best we got. However, if we had a team of leaders, Aspi would look like one of the lads. Let's be honest. So right now, what John Obi Mikel has had to say is absolutely spot on. Absolutely bang on the money. And best believe, even John Obi Mikel, captain of Nigeria, and in that Chelsea team, yes, wasn't the best player, wasn't the best midfielder, but he done a job, and you could see his personality always shining through. And that's the element of a leader, man. So what you said is absolutely spot on. And that's something where Chelsea absolutely do suffer, is that, we lack leadership. We absolutely lack leadership. And we lack players that take responsibility in the moment. We lack players that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. We lack players that seem to operate when that happens. So, this Chelsea team, look, to wrap up, this Chelsea team is fundamentally broken. It's fundamentally broken. And I'd like to think that going into the summer, this team's going to look a lot different. But, I have to look to the ownership here. And I have to say that I can't lie to you guys and say that I'm not worried. These owners, as day by day goes on, it begins to seem more and more like they actually don't know what they're doing. And I'd like to think that's not the case. I always give the benefit of the doubt, and I have done up until this point, especially when it came to the investment. But in terms of the managerial situation, man, they just look like they don't know what they want. And we have to pinpoint the fact that they brought in directors, and right now it does still seem like they're not letting the directors do what they feel is best for the club. The one thing that Roman Abramovich done when he first came in was get Peter Kenyon. For those of you that don't know who Peter Kenyon was, go and Google him. Peter Kenyon was working at Manchester United at the time as director, working with Sir Alex Ferguson for Manchester United at their prime, at their peak. Roman Abramovich went one phone call. Peter Kenyon, we want you at Chelsea Football Club. What is it that you need, that you want in order for us to get you to Chelsea Football Club? Negotiate with Manchester United. What is it that you want in order to release Peter Kenyon? Boom, here you go, thank you. Please give us Peter Kenyon. The best in the business at that time. He came in, Peter Kenyon knew exactly what to do. Roman did not have to worry. We don't have that. In fact, we have directors at the club. We have football people now at the club. We have people at that level, at board level. But it still seems like these owners are the ones that want to make all the decisions. And that seems to be the indicators that we're getting in terms of the news that we're receiving here and there, especially over the last week or so. What are we doing? Seems very scattergun. We can't continue like this. We can't. And these performances right now on the pitch reflect that. And I appreciate we're going to be moving into the summer, and as I've said, it's all going to change in terms of the team, in terms of who the manager's going to be. But my God, we need a direction, and we need to be sure in terms of what we're going to be doing going forward. We absolutely have to, because this can't continue. Right now, you have to say, with the way they were operating, you can't help but think, maybe we're going to get another season like this next season. Chelsea right now, in terms of the financials, FFP and whatnot, I have to say, I didn't think it was that bad. But it seems to be, and you're getting loads of financial experts now coming out and saying, Chelsea are in trouble. We're in trouble. We need to sell a lot this summer to be able to make do of the books and make sure that we actually balance ourselves out. If not, we're going to be having issues, because the accounts that have come to fruition as of now are only up until the point of when the sanctions, just before the sanctions started taking place. What about afterwards? What about when these owners did come in? What about when the owners did spend 600 million? What happens when all of those comes onto the books and comes into, we start taking those into account? Because that's not been taken into account yet. So we need to really be careful and start, as I said, planning from now. There we are. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And let me know your overall feelings about Chelsea Football Club right now. The news about Felix and about Azpilicueta. The leadership point about what John Obi Mikel mentioned. Let me know everything in regards to all of that below, and where you see Chelsea Football Club going right now. Because it's looking bleak. And I have to say, and this is going to be a little bit of a warning prior to the preview that I give tomorrow, and I might mention it again tomorrow. A lot of people were optimistic, especially about Lampard coming in, and kind of papering over the cracks of how bad Chelsea are operating as an institution right now, on and off the pitch. the realism will kick in after the Real Madrid ties. If we get knocked out, and we get knocked out convincingly, that's when the realism kicks in, because then at that point we'd be knocked out of Europe. We'd have no European football going into next season. We'd be 11th or whatnot in the league, and we're trying to, salvage something. We're playing horrifically. We lose all motivation. That's when the realism might kick in. But it all depends on what Chelsea do against Real Madrid, I guess. So the preview for that, dropping tomorrow. Make sure you're here for that. And we'll look into it into more detail. So I'll see all of you then. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. See you lot then. Take care. And peace.